Now, as we keep following the story, we have some breaking news coming in wherein a complaint has been filed against Udhayanidhi Stalin on this very statement that was made by the minister, Tamil Nadu minister. And the complaint has been filed by Vineet Jindal, who is a SC lawyer, and he has filed this complaint claiming that the remarks that were made by Udhayanidhi Stalin were inflammatory, derogatory and inciting statement against Sanatan Dharma. This is the particular reaction that we are getting from the lawyer, SC lawyer, Supreme Court lawyer Vineet Jindal, who has filed a complaint. Now, earlier we had already seen that Udhayanidhi Stalin has mentioned that he is not afraid of taking this up in the courts. He still defends and he still stands by the statement he has made about Sanatan Dharma. And right now we have Purnima joining us on the broadcast. I'm sorry, that is Nikhil joining us on the broadcast on this particular story. And Nikhil, a very good morning to you. And this is what we are learning as had been anticipated by Udhayanidhi Stalin himself while making the statement that a complaint might be filed. And now, as we see, a complaint has been filed in the national capital. What more details are we gathering on this and how are we seeing this play out?
As far as the details are concerned, as mentioned by Stalin himself, and now what we do know is that the complaint has been filed with the Delhi police in particular, and it has been filed by a Supreme Court-based lawyer, Mr. Vineet Jindal. He is based out of the national capital, Delhi, and the sections which have been pressed in by him, during the filing of the complaint are the section 120B, 153A, section 295, and section 504 of IPC and IT Act as well. And the complaint clearly says that the kind of statement which was made by Udhayanidhi Stalin is somewhere or the other provocative, inciting and defamatory in nature. So this is the reason why a complaint officially has now been filed by a Delhi-based Supreme Court lawyers. So now we need to see as to how the further politics is going to take shape, because the reactions are gradually coming in from the side of the political leaders as well. And also a while back, we have heard the different bites, different reactions of the BJP leader as well, where they are saying that this is the India alliance partner. So the other partners should also come out and clarify as to are their stand as well, stand same with that of the Udhayanidhi Stalin or not. This is something which is currently taking place. But at the same time, speaking more on the same, there is also a tweet which has now been out from the side of Stalin himself, where he has been saying that he is currently standing by the words which he has mentioned earlier as well. So we need to wait for a while to see as to how the further developments are currently going to take place in this particular matter.
Right, Nikhil. Thank you for bringing us all those details. Right now, joining us on the broadcast is the complainant himself, Vineet Jindal, the Supreme Court lawyer. Mr. Jindal, a very good morning to you and thank you for joining us on the broadcast at CNN News 18. To begin with, your reaction regarding the complaint that you have filed, the comments that you've made pressing charges saying that it's an inflammatory, derogatory and inciting statement against Sanatan Dharma. What is your first reaction on this?
Yes, look, as this Udhayanidhi Stalin has specifically stating that this Sanatan Dharma should be erected, and it has been compared with dengue, malaria. This words is itself derogatory, and his intention towards the Sanatan Dharma to finish off for the Sanatan Dharma, he is not relying anything. He is an MLA. He is taking the oath in the constitution, but the statement itself shows his intent to and his hate towards Sanatan Dharma. So our Honorable Supreme Court has given us specific directions. Any hate speech should be taken in a strong manner, and the FIR should be lodged. I think this statement itself a hate speech, and the FIR against this person should be lodged.
Right. Mr. Jindal, also, if we speak about the fact that Udhayanidhi Stalin himself has said that the context behind the statement he's made is the fact that he's saying that it isn't just the Sanatanam that he is attacking, that is the eternal religion that he's attacking, but the fact, he's questioning the fact that it's the caste hierarchy that it implies on the society that he's questioning. How do you look at this particular statement of his?
Look, we have seen several persons who has been trying to justify himself after giving such kind of statement. Now, when he's aware about this statement becomes a problematic situation for him. Now he's trying to justify himself. But when you are listen his statement, he's specifically talking about the Sanatan Dharma and Sanatan Dharma we are the oldest no religion of the world, but now this kind of person has been taking like they are using like and Sanatan Dharma against fighting against Sanatan Dharma. So he's just trying to justify himself, nothing else. But the statement itself shows his intent towards Sanatan Dharma is ill intention.
Right. Mr. Jindal, also in your very complaint, since there is a certain word that you've used, the inciting statement, that phrase that has been used, we've already seen that the BJP has commented and reacted rather to the statement made, saying that this almost sets a genocidal tone towards a particular religion. So what is your reaction on that? Do you also see it in a similar light?
Yes, definitely. I have cited this thing because once a person who is talking about the relation of Sanatan Dharma, it is also amount to be a a killing of the person who is believing in Hinduism and the Sanatan Dharma. So his intention towards this thing, genocide, would be called. So it is this person is given a hate speech, and as per the direction of the Honorable Supreme Court, the FIR should be logged and strict action should be taken against him.
Right, right. Mr. Jindal, if you would just explain for our viewers out there as to the kind of action that you now see, how this might play out for you as well, now that the complaint has been lodged already.
Yes, I have just received the confirmation that my complaint has been received to the Delhi police, and hope the FIR should be lodged against Udhayanidhi Stalin. And once the FIR should be lodged, he will be behind the bars and will take us further responsible.
Right, right, Mr. Jindal. And Mr. Jindal, thank you for bringing us all those details. Right now, I also have my colleague Kuhina Sharma joining us from the newsroom to bring in more details about this particular complaint that has been filed. Let's have a look at that.
Well, thank you, Shreya. CNN News 18 has been able to access the complaint that has been filed against Udhayanidhi Stalin by Supreme Court's senior advocate Vineet Jindal. We'll quickly take a look at what the complaint really says. He says in the complaint that I'm filing this complaint against Udhayanidhi Stalin, the sports minister of the Tamil Nadu government and son of Tamil Nadu CM M.K. Stalin, for his provocative, inflammatory, derogatory and inciting statements against Sanatan Dharma. He's also reached out and slammed the organizers of the event, stating that I congratulate the organizers for calling the conference as eradication of Sanatan Dharma instead of opposing Sanatan Dharma. Now, there are some things that we have to eradicate, and Vineet Jindal also adds that he had gone through a video statement of Udhayanidhi Stalin and its translation on social media, that the viral video has been doing rounds, and news reports in which Udhayanidhi Stalin is speaking at an event called Sanatana Abolition Conference, where Udhayanidhi Stalin said that I congratulate the organizers for calling the conference as eradication of Sanatan Dharma instead of opposing Sanatan Dharma. There are some things that we have to eradicate. So these are the statements that are being used by Vineet Jindal against the complaint that he's leveled against Udhayanidhi Stalin. Now, he's used words like provocatory, inflammatory, derogatory and incitement statement against the anti-Hindu remark that Udhayanidhi Stalin had given against the Sanatan Dharma in a conference that was held in Tamil Nadu. Over to you, Shreya.
Right, Kuhina. Thank you for bringing us all those details. And right now, joining me on the broadcast is our reporter Purnima Murli. Purnima, coming back to you with this particular conversation on what has further happened now. The latest development in the story is the fact that, as anticipated by Udhayanidhi Stalin himself, he is under fire now, and there is a complaint that has been lodged against him. Do we have any reactions from the DMK itself as to how they might be going ahead with this complaint?
Well, sources from the DMK say that they will take the legal route forward and that they will face it legally. And they also maintain that, as Udhayanidhi had already said, that he's ready to face it legally as well as through people's court, and that he's never said anything as being portrayed by the BJP and calls it fake, saying that he's never spoken about genocide, and it's been misconstrued. That's something that Udhayanidhi had already tweeted, and the DMK also maintains the same, that Minister had already clarified and there is nothing to add. However, whatever complaint has been filed, they will face it legally, and they will take all the legal routes possible. That's what coming in from from the DMK camp.
Right. Purnima, also, given the charges that Udhayanidhi Stalin is facing right now in this particular complaint that has come in, how might this play out in the court, if you could set a little bit of a context for our viewers out there?
Well, in fact, Udhayanidhi, in a detailed statement, had already said that Udhayanidhi had already made it clear that he only spoke about Sanatan Dharma as a social evil, just like dengue, malaria, and never spoke about genocide at all, as being said by the BJP, and says that this is the same argument that will be presented, saying that his statement has been misconstrued. He never spoke about, it was just a metaphor that was used by saying that it's a social evil, just like any other flu, including corona, and that has nothing to do with the way it's being portrayed by the BJP, and says that people will decide, and he was ready to accept the people's court as well. So that this argument will be presented by his counsel as well whenever the legal cases come up for hearing.
Right. Purnima, also a little while back, I was speaking to Purnima. Do remain with us, because we also have Pallavi joining us on the broadcast. I will bring her into this conversation as well. Pallavi, this is the particular information, that the latest developments on this case that we have received. The complaint has also been filed now. Now, if we look at the very term Sanatana Dharma, there is a lot of speculation that is going on behind the actual meaning of it, while the DMK is saying that we are implying it in the manner where we mean that it imposes caste hierarchy on the society. The opposition parties have brought in a genocidal tone to this entire story. How are we looking at this?
So basically what DMK and in fact all Tamil Nadu politicians, whether it's Karti Chidambaram or whether it's Stalin, are talking about in the terms of, against a caste regime, against a casteist ideology, and that's when they're talking in the context of Sanatan Dharma. And in fact, that's the clarification which has been given in by both of them, particularly Karti Chidambaram. I think there are two things which are happening here. It's again going to become a North versus South political debate. That's one. Second is, as far as the BJP is concerned, they are going to make it Hindu versus non-Hindu kind of a debate. And, Stalin, of course, we know DMK is an integral part of the India Front Alliance. So what is the BJP doing here right ahead of the state elections, but more importantly, ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, making a case out for and asking a question for many of the northern parties, and particularly parties like the Congress party, which has tried to peddle a soft Hindutva ideology, but has invoked criticism from the BJP on the grounds that this is an electoral of fake Hinduism, and basically the Congress shows an anti-Hindu mindset. So the BJP's attack is coming on TMC, where it's engaged in a tug of war in West Bengal, and also against the Congress. So the question which the BJP is now raising is that since DMK is an integral part of the India Front Alliance, it will not be seen only as a Tamil Nadu political face-off. We need to know an answer from the Congress and from the TMC. What is it that they think of it? Otherwise, I think the narrative for again 2024 is going to be pretty much on these grounds that India Front is actually a coming together of the anti-Hindu forces.
Right. Pallavi, as you bring in the entire India bloc conversation into focus as well, right, in this discussion, the BJP has also mentioned as to how this might have been one of the topics of discussion in the recent meeting that they had in Mumbai. And when we speculate on the vote bank politics being brought in as an angle into this discussion, how are we looking at this? How might this play out for the India bloc in this upcoming elections?
This was not per se discussed. The Sanatan Dharma issue was not per se discussed in the India Front meeting. What certainly was discussed is how BJP divides on the basis of caste and religion. The DMK is raising the point that Purnima is pointing out, not about the religious angle, they actually talked about the caste angle, and that is something which the Congress party has spoken about. Now, Karti Chidambaram coming in from where he is, one can understand the narrative he is pushing, but his entire face-off runs the risk of the Congress attempted to be put on a back foot, and not just the Congress, the AAP, the TMC. Now, these three political parties are engaged in one of the most fiercest battle against the BJP. And if you look at the larger national picture beyond Tamil Nadu, I think the BJP will make in a year of 2024 of Lok Sabha elections with the Ram Mandir, Mathura Mandir, all of them are going to be emotive issues. As yet another example of the India front consisting of forces which are one against the country, and second, the forces are against the religion. And religion, as we all know, plays a very, very important part as far as electoral politics is concerned.
Right. Pallavi, do stay with us right now, because we also have joining us on the broadcast Rahul Ishwar. Mr. Ishwar, what we have here is a particular discussion on this statement that has been made by Udhayanidhi Stalin. Your reaction to this first?
It is absolutely shocking, condemnable. As a Hindu activist and as an Indian, it pains me that when a person of his stature, especially son of a chief minister and a prominent actor, gives a statement like this. Yes, you can quote ideology, you can quote Periyar, you can quote Ambedkar ji. There is no issue. You can debate ideologically, but to use words like eradicate, use words like malaria, dengue, that too with a religion, a faith, a philosophy, is absolutely sad. Mahatma Gandhi himself said, "I am a Sanatani Hindu." So does he want to eradicate Gandhiji's philosophy? Second, just imagine the outrage had the same been said about our brother religions, may it be the Holy Islam, may it be the Holy Christianity. Can anybody even think of saying? As a Hindu activist, I have filed complaints against Sathvi Prachi because for her, Muslim Mukt Bharat comment. See, India is a pluralistic nation and we should celebrate every faith. And we are right now in discussion with many people in Tamil Nadu thinking about filing a case nationwide, because as we all know, in Tamil Nadu, DMK government is ruling and nothing is going to happen. So we are thinking about filing the statement as it is online too, and definitely a case 153A and 295A should be filed. This is not intellectual discussion. This is using violent language to oppose and even use words like eradicate correctly falls under and will attract IPC sections. He is a brilliant actor. Nobody has any beef about it. He has acted brilliantly in Mamannan, good young leader. But this is poisonous and evil thought that we should confront legally, socially and culturally.
Right. Mr. Ishwar, now coming back to you about this particular one point that has been made by Udhayanidhi Stalin himself. He has said that the implication of the very word Sanatan Dharma that he has cited in his speech is to imply that it is caste hierarchy that is being imposed. He's even brought in the conversation, but taken it back rather, the conversation about Dravidians being suppressed in the south. So, when we look at this particular implication, what is your reaction to that?
Yeah, I am an Indian from South. I am a South Indian. I'm proud of my legacy, and even our PM Modi ji rightly says Tamil is the oldest language in the world, older than Sanskrit. Yes, casteism was a curse on Hindu community and India, and people who cleansed us of casteism were great Hindu believers. May it be Mahatma Gandhi, may it be Vivekananda. Vivekananda rightly called South India, many parts of our South India, including Kerala, a lunatic asylum for our wrong casteist practices. Yes, that is absolutely well. Then he should have said casteism. Everyone would have applauded. Everyone across left or white would have applauded that the hierarchical casteism is a curse on Hindu society or India that should definitely be eradicated. But using the word Sanatana Dharma is absolutely shocking. I will just pose a counter respectfully to our viewers. Had the same been said about Holy Islam or Holy Christianity, and then the justification came, we only meant terrorism, that is adding insult to injury. Because then you are equating an entire religion with extremism. Similarly, you are equating an entire Hindu faith with casteism. Whereas anti-caste, all the crusaders were strong Hindu believers. Mahatma Phule, Savitribai Phule, they were all people who were tilaks or who were believers. And all the reformists, may it be Rajaram Mohan Roy, may it be Dayananda Saraswati, they were all anti-caste activists. So this is very unfortunate, using words like eradication. India doesn't believe in eradication. India believes in embracing and holding everyone together. And I hope Sri Rahul Gandhi, with due respect, will definitely have a take on this. Because he continuously says about Mohammed ki Dukan, he continuously says about being together. He says, you should have love against hate, all the beautiful words. At least a statement should come from Congress. We should know where they are standing, because this is beyond politics. Congress is the grand old party of India. Just one submission. Had the same been said about any other faith, there would have been international outrage. Articles would have written in New York Times, or pieces would have come in CNN. Rightly so. If there is anything Islamophobic, we should definitely counter it. But when it comes to being Hindu-phobic, it is considered fashionable. It is considered progressive. That is very unfortunate. And there were great Vaishnavite saints in Tamil Nadu too, the Hindu saints who oppose casteism. So this is very unfortunate. He should definitely apologize and take his words back.
Right, Mr. Ishwar, definitely some of the very crucial points that you've brought forth here. The main point being the fact that what if this comment was made about some other religion, how would the people have reacted then? We will continue with these discussions on this story, but for now we are going to slip into a few reactions we have received on the comment made. Let's have a look.
देखिए, राजनीति तमिलनाडु में कुछ लोगों की असलियत पता चलने लगा है। वहाँ की समाज उस विषय को जानने लगा है। कुछ समय तक कुछ लोगों को भ्रमित करके रखा जा सकता है, लंबे समय तक भ्रमित नहीं किया जा सकता है। तमिलनाडु की भारत की विभिन्न प्रांतों में जो आस्था की केंद्र है, अभी पिछले दिनों में हमने काशी तमिल संगमम आयोजन किया। तमिलनाडु में हर एक गांव में विश्वनाथ जी की काशी की स्मृति है। तो कहाँ सनातन तो नित्य निरंतर है। ये राजनीतिक सियासी बयानों से ये कुछ नहीं होता है। ये उनकी कुंठा है, ये उनकी हेजिटेशन है, ये कोई काम पे आएगा नहीं। ये इन लोगों को निंदा करनी चाहिए।
देश तमाम धर्मों की इज्जत के लिए जाना जाता है। हमारा संविधान इसीलिए सेकुलर है कि देश के अंदर भिन्न भिन्न धर्म रहते हैं, भिन्न भिन्न ज़बानें रहती हैं, ताकि देश को एक रखा जा सके। लेकिन पिछले 9 सालों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने धर्म को राजनीति में लाकर धर्म को पॉलिटिसाइज कर दिया है, और उसी का ये नतीजा है कि जिसकी मर्जी आती है वो किसी भी धर्म के मामले में कुछ भी बोल देता है। ये उसकी बड़ी मिसाल है। इसके लिए जिसने बोला है वो गलत बोला है, लेकिन उससे भी ज़्यादा जिम्मेदारी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं की है, जिन्होंने धर्म को राजनीति में ले आए हैं और उसे पॉलिटिसाइज किया।
Our leader, Mr. Udhayanidhi's statement has been twisted, taken out of context, and the biggest fake news peddler has put out a tweet that Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin has asked for genocide. If the Prime Minister says Congress Mukt Bharat, does he call for genocide? And how can they say that Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin has called for genocide? That is a fake news. That is hate speech. They have to be answerable to the law for making those fake news, bringing up those fake news and driving hatred. And when we say we want to do away with Sanatan Dharma, it means we want to do away with the rigid caste system the Sanatan Dharma perpetuates.
Right, we will continue the discussion where we left it, but right now we have Aman Sharma joining us on the broadcast to take up the discussion further. Aman, quite a few questions coming to the fore, and I will start with where Pallavi left off. The fact that she was speaking about how the Lok Sabha 2024 elections might end up being on such topics, especially of religion, and how it might end up being a fight between how we are seeing a fight between the North and the South slowly developing once again over such religious discussions and topics and statements being made. What is your take on that?
Absolutely. See, this statement which has come from Udhayanidhi Stalin, not only is it objectionable to the BJP, I think this will make many of the India allies also very uncomfortable. So though Karti Chidambaram has come out some sort of in support of Mr. Stalin, Congress leader Mr. Karti Chidambaram, but the Congress party in totality, we are still awaiting a statement officially from the Congress party, but the Congress will not be able to agree with what Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin has said. Even parties like Uddhav Thackeray's party, for example, Aam Aadmi party, these parties will not be able to agree with what. This will also come just 2 days after the India alliance had met in Mumbai. So in a way, BJP is also not only attacking this statement, it is also daring the allies of INDIA to come out with their official stand. Do they agree with this statement from the DMK leader? And DMK, mind you, is one of the biggest allies in INDA alliance. It is one of the biggest parties after the Congress and the TMC. So, in a way, also what Mamata Banerjee has to say on this, BJP clearly saying that this statement offends the Hindu sentiment. It attacks the total Sanatan Dharma concept. And though now Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin is trying to say that he did not mean it like that, he did not call for a genocide, and Mr. Karthi Chidambaram saying it is all about caste hierarchy. But Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin's statement clearly does not allude to any of those parts. In fact, the place where he has said this, the conference was named Eradicate Sanatan Dharma. So in a way, he knew what he was saying, and he even went to a conference which was titled in that way. I think in the upcoming days, BJP is already very strongly attacking this statement and also putting the India allies on the mat here that please come out with your official stand. And is it an Hindu statement at a time when the India alliance has been trying to reach out to all communities and saying that they are trying to uphold the secular values of the country, so as to saying that how this statement fits into that, BJP is going to attack it. And I think BJP senior leaders already, couple of ministers have tweeted out on this, and I think a serious attack from the BJP is going to come out on Udhayanidhi Stalin's statement, and this is going to be a thorn in the flesh of the India alliance in these early days when they're still trying to come up with a logo, still trying to come up with a common minimum program. Such statements obviously are putting a big question mark on what does the INDA alliance really stand for.
Right, Aman. And definitely when we speak of what the INDA Alliance bloc stands for, another very important point that has just, I was speaking to Rahul Iswar a couple of minutes ago, and he brought in a crucial point where he said that comments on Hindu religion always seems to be taken in a very fashionable way, whereas if such a similar comment was made against somebody belonging to the Muslim community or the Christian community, it would have blown out of proportion already. How are we looking at that statement here?
Absolutely. I think it's a very strong statement also, and I think the BJP may also refer to this, the same thing, that, you know, when it comes to attacks on the Hindu religion, Sanatan Dharma, comments like these seems like a free for all coming from the other side, but but when this thing is sort of cannot be said about the Christian community or the Muslim community, BJP in fact has taken action against its spokespersons earlier. We all remember the Nupur Sharma case where the action was taken very strongly by the BJP when the comment was flagged off. BJP will now go and question that what is the action that the DMK is going to take against Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin. And also, if you see Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar's tweet, the MOS IT is clearly saying that this is also a case of dynasty politics. That, you know, the dynasty politics which is crippling the India alliance nearly in every party, be it the RJD or be it the DMK or be it the Congress. It is dynasty politics which is continuing. This is what is leading to such kind of comments coming. And will there be action now against the son of the Chief Minister, M.K. Stalin, by the DMK or by the India alliance for really apologize for its comments coming in the days ahead? So far, Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin seems to be brazing it out and in fact compounding the matter by daring people to file legal cases against him, and said he will stand by his comments and will fight it out in the court of law. I think this is something coming as a very brazen attempt, and this is something the BJP is going to say that, look, when such comments are made, people are not even ready to apologize after insulting the Hindu community, and this is what the DMK and the India Alliance stands for.
Right. So when we talk about the alliance itself, and like you rightly mentioned, that this what Udhayanidhi Stalin said after making this statement was also quite a brazen and quite a strong stance that he's taken, where he said that he's ready to face any legal action as well, but he's not yet apologized for the statement he has made. So where does this put the India bloc in this entire scenario? Do you think that though the Congress, Karthi Chidambaram has already come out in support of this comment, but do you think this might affect the India bloc in a very negative light, and the Congress might end up having to change their stance regarding the statement eventually?
Absolutely. I think Mr. Karthi Chidambaram's tweet, I think we should not equate it with the official Congress statement on this. I think let's wait for what the Congress has to officially say on it. Mr. Karthi Chidambaram has expressed his own view, but I don't think the Congress is going to agree with it, because it will put the Congress in a very, very tough spot, especially with state elections coming up in the Hindi heartland in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. BJP is going to milk this statement in these elections, saying that, look, the India Alliance stands for offending the Hindu community, words like being used like eradication. You know, I think the choice of words is also very, very strong by Udhayanidhi Stalin. That is also going to be attacked a lot by the BJP. And ahead of the state elections, where the Congress is actually the main competitor to the BJP in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, the Congress would find it very, very defend Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin's comments and may in fact steer clear of it. And Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin may be implored by some parties in the India alliance, maybe to also privately apologize for this statement which has been made by him in respect of the Sanatan Dharma.
Right. Aman, if we are getting into if we take a deeper dive into the very context of this statement made, Aman, do remain with us. We also have Payal joining us on this broadcast to further the conversation from here, further the discussion from here. Payal, given the particular situation right now, what I was just about to ask Aman as well, this question applies to you. The very use of the term Sanatan Dharma and the fact that the implication used here is it almost seems like he has said that he's likened poverty to a term like Sanatan Dharma, to a Hindu ideology. How does that play out in this scenario? Do you think that sets a communal tone to a bigger issue like poverty?
Most certainly, it is actually a communal issue that has been brought up as well. No matter how much does Udhayanidhi Stalin really try to clarify over here, but the fact of the matter is that this is a very, very sensitive issue coming in at a very sensitive time. Now, you had the opposition parties get together in Mumbai and talk about the fact that you're talking about Mohabbat ki Dukaan, you're talking about the benefit of all, you're talking about this front being the voice of the poor, the downtrodden as well. What is the need of such a comment to come in at this time? That is something which, of course, the DMK will have to answer. The DMK will have to answer not just to the country, but also to the other political parties as well. And like Aman was rightly pointing out, it is a very crucial juncture. You have the elections happening in the Hindi heartland, and the main contender, in fact, the main stakeholder in all these states where, of course, they have governments is that of the Congress party. The Congress party will have a lot to answer as well, because obviously they have also allies with the DMK in Tamil Nadu as well. What does it really mean? Because is he suggesting genocide against the Hindu, which is of course the majority? That's what the political leaders are asking. You've seen the likes of Annawala, you've seen Amit Malviya coming out and tweet, and in fact, several other people have come out and said this was absolutely unnecessary and has raised in a controversy at a time when it should not really have. So obviously that's a lot for them to really answer. But you saw the response already coming in from the Congress leader from Maharashtra, clearly saying that they do not agree with what this individual is saying. It's probably the view of the individual or the individual's party as well. So obviously, is this going to be the new crack within the opposition ranks? That remains to be seen, because it is certainly fodder for BJP.
Right. Payal, also, when we speak about this very statement, BJP's reaction to this statement, where they've also said that this almost incites a genocidal tone to this issue at hand. And, Vineet Jindal, who is the complainant for the complaint that has been lodged in the national capital, he has also mentioned in his complaint that it is an inciting statement. How are we looking at this particular comment of the BJP?
Well, of course, this is something which is completely unwarranted. For it was not required at this time when the opposition parties are trying to come in together as well. And obviously, talking about a certain tone, making a certain tone, even if you come out and little clarify, and it's a bullish response coming in from Udhayanidhi Stalin. But it seems the political damage has already been done. Why would one person speak like that? You're comparing, the majority of the country to diseases like malaria and all of that as well. So that's completely a wrong comparison in the first place. And Udhayanidhi Stalin, when he was responding to Amit Malviya late in the night, also said that he stands by every word that he said, but he's speaking in a different tone as well. But obviously, what has gone out? If the arrow is out of the quiver, it is out of the quiver. There's no doubt whatsoever about it. And there is a lot for the Congress party, the DMK, and the opposition parties to really answer, because you're on one front talking about the fact that the BJP and the RSS and the NDA are speaking in a religious tone. They're trying to sort of be unfair to certain communities and certain castes as well. What is it that you're really doing over here? Of course, Karti Chidambaram over here defending Udhayanidhi Stalin, essentially saying that he's speaking about the caste system in the place. But the fact of the matter is that caste system does exist in the place, and the caste system is something which every political party goes by. So is the Congress leadership now trying to say that if there are elections in Madhya Pradesh or in Chhattisgarh, they will not go by the caste combination? Of course, they will go by the caste combination. It's a deep entrenched thing as well, but its controversy is coming at an unnecessary time, and there will be a lot for Udhayanidhi Stalin and for MK Stalin and the DMK to answer over here.
Right, Payal. Thank you for bringing us all those details and those insights into this discussion. And definitely, it is a crucial juncture for the opposition alliance, as well as this statement comes in at a very crucial juncture right before the Lok Sabha 2024 election. And we need to see how this plays out on both sides. And we will keep a track of this story and see how what other latest updates we get. But for now, we're going to slip into a short break. Do stay tuned to CNN News 18 as we bring you more on the other side.